All right. Well, technical issues persist. We love this. Um, I think we're just going to we're going to go without the video. So this is just going to be a an audio only. So we're going to continue. We were just talking about your I forget where we left off, but what I wanted to go into was your financial planning business. You focus specifically on investors with your financial
Mhm.
planning. So why don't you tell us a little bit? I mean, that's a very niche subject in financial planning,
Mhm.
but it's perfect for this podcast. So why don't you
Mhm.
tell us when you meet with people who do investing, who
Mhm.
that is their main source of income, what are the things that you see that they could be doing better when they're planning long term?
Yeah, that's a great question, Gabe. So in our practice, we're financial planners for real estate investors. I'm a certified financial planner, and I guess you could say it's a combination of a traditional financial planning and real estate business coaching focused on the financial aspect of things. And I would say that some of the biggest, we were talking about what mistakes I'd made initially as an investor. Some of the mistakes that I see people make, one is that they don't get professional tax advice. Now,
Hmm.
I'm not a CPA myself, but I think so many of the benefits of real estate, in terms of the tax optimization benefits of real estate, require pre-planning.
Hmm.
And if you think about some of the strategies around tax minimization, for example, if you have a couple and one spouse has a high income job or business and the other spouse works professionally managing their rentals or their short term rentals, all of that requires some pre planning and some knowledge about what to do and what to track in advance. The other thing is getting ready for a 1031 exchange. You'd be surprised how many people call after they've sold a property and want to
Hmm.
know what they can do to reduce or minimize their taxes. And so just not incorporating the tax advisor who understands something about real estate into their whole business process, I think is probably the biggest mistake that I
Yeah.
see.
Yeah, and getting I when I first started, I tried to learn all that myself, and man, you don't want to even try. It's just
No,
taxes are no
yeah.
fun, and it's a lot better to have somebody in your corner who knows that stuff and can help you save those taxes. And there's so many different benefits. I don't want to try to spout them out because I don't know them as well as I should, but that's why I have a tax professional to help me. So,
Yeah.
definitely good advice. I'm going to move us on to the quick question round.
Mhm.
Are you ready?
Yes, absolutely.
All right. Starts with education. It could be any form. It could be a book you've read, movie you've seen,
Mhm.
conference you've gone to, mentorship program you've been a part of. But I need two recommendations: one for general life wisdom, and then one for real estate.
Sure. Well, I would say for general life wisdom, something that I've read in the past year by Dan Martell called Buy Back Your Time,
Yep.
just about when to delegate and what to delegate. I think it's a really interesting rubric for how to think about it as
Hmm.
somebody that's running a business. And if you own rental properties, even though you may be taxed on your income tax return like it's passive income, we all know that it bears more resemblance to a business, running a business, than anything else. So that's been a game changer, I think, for me. And my favorite real estate book is a relatively recent publication, and it's by Dave Meyer. And it's called Start with Strategy. We are not related, even though we have the same last name. And I think it's a really clear and open overview for people who are just getting started, right? It has kind of a data point of view, which I like.
Nice.
Being a numbers
Uh,
geek.
yeah, Dan Martell. I've watched him on YouTube. I like his stuff.
Mm-hmm.
He's got some good stuff. All right. Next question is for your younger self. Let's go back to the Cynthia who had no idea about real estate. Go back to her, look her in the eye, give her one piece of advice moving forward.
Right. And this isn't dating advice, right? Um,
No, just
so if
regarding
I could go back and give
business and real estate.
my 20 something self one piece of advice, this is super clear. It would be the house hack, right?
Oh
That,
yeah.
yeah. I mean, when I was 20 something, like I was kind of a late bloomer in terms of getting it together financially. And I was interested in buying the next, the affording the next bigger apartment, right, with
Mm,
the better view or whatever. I was in Washington D.C. at the time. It would be the house hack. It would be to buy a multifamily property and live in one unit and rent out the others, or to buy a home and to rent out to roommates. I think that is the most powerful thing you can do when you're just getting started, is to build your personal financial foundation with a home, and your investment foundation with a part of it that's rented.
Yeah. Yeah, I did that, but it was later, and
Hmm.
before that, I was renting, and I wish I did it sooner because house hacking. I mean, I'm definitely going to tell my daughter
Hmm.
that is the way to go. I'll buy your first house, and if you just house hack it and pay
Hmm.
the mortgage down, then it's good to go. So that is definitely good advice. I'm going to move us on to the next question. This is about the U.S. It's a big place. There's a lot of opportunity out there. You
Hmm.
mentioned you like Detroit back in the day. So
Hmm.
today, currently, what is the metro you're most excited about investing in today?
Oh, that's a great question because I do hear from, different people who are buying in different parts of the country based on where their real estate business is. I think some general areas that I'm interested in still many years of Tennessee,
Okay.
right? So the kind of expanding Nashville area. I think Clarksville, Tennessee, for example, has been hearing some activity in Clarksville. I think also the Philadelphia metro area. I think it's very interesting that Philly, if you're familiar with the Northeast, they're from the Lehigh Valley, like Bethlehem and Allentown and Easton and kind of Philadelphia, like that whole corridor in between is filling up and it's just becoming like another big gargantuan metro area. I think there's a lot of possibility in the Philly area too.
Interesting. You are, I don't know if anybody said Philly yet, but
Mhm.
it makes sense. It's a big metro. And I've heard there's a lot of property crime out there, but it's got to be cheaper, which is difficult to find these days.
It is less, there's a lot of multifamily housing. And like anywhere in the Northeast or the industrial Midwest, for example, there is a lot of multifamily housing, which is great. But on the other hand, it's also older housing stock. And so, that's not for everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Next question is about finding the deal. It all starts with getting in
Yeah.
contact with the seller and penning that purchase agreement. So, what is your favorite way to generate leads and find new deals?
Ooh. Well, my favorite way to generate new leads is in my existing market, right? With the team that we have in place. So the property manager, the mortgage broker, the insurance agent, the attorney, for example. There's still room to grow in the market that we're in. Luckily, it's still a pretty good cash flow market. But we've gotten some deals off market because we want our property manager, for example, to bring us something if she has another client that's selling a property. Like, let us know.
Property managers is that is definitely a I think underutilized strategy
Hmm.
is talking with property managers because they are intimately involved with every single house out there, and so they know which ones that the owners are
Hmm.
getting tired of and are ready to sell, and so that's a good one, and it's not something many people mention, so that's good that you brought that up.
Hmm.
All right, that leads us to the very last question. This is for the listeners. I'm sure people want to reach out, get in contact with you. This is a two-parter. Where can they find you, and then what can they expect when they reach out?
Sure. So you can find me online at reallifeplanning.com or just my name, cynthiameyer.com. And reach out there, reach out on Bigger Pockets if you're a Bigger Pockets member or LinkedIn and make a connection.
Perfect. I love it. All right. Well, that wraps it up. Cynthia, thank you very much for hopping on the show.
Thank you, Gabe.
Absolutely. For everybody who's with us today, thank you guys for showing up. You are the reason we do this. So if you guys have any questions, reach out to me, Gabe with realestateinvestingclub.com. If you guys want to support the show, just leave us a review. Other than that, hope you guys have a great week. Keep rocking real estate, and I look forward to seeing you on the next episode.